These are some of the lists sourced from a private magazine. So authenticity of this data may be little bit doubtful because that's not a government data, but broadly correct. So you can see number of metros including Agra, Ahmedabad, Bangalore, Bhopal, Chennai, Delhi, Gurgaon, Hyderabad, Indore, Jaipur, Kanpur, Kochi, Kolkata. You name any city, and the city is there. Mumbai in itself has got a master plan of 337 kilometers, but I would come to that in detail. These are some of the other projects that are in pipeline. Gorakhpur, Surat. In fact, Surat Metro, the Prime Minister is inaugurating today, laying foundation stone. Other projects that may come up, may not come up, in what time frame they come up, but they are also on horizon as the country is progressing. If we see global, London has got a 400-kilometer underground network, 11 corridor, 270 stations. London Overground has 167 kilometers. Then the Tokyo. The city is all impregnated by metro lines, 900 odd kilometers. We see Moscow, 403 kilometers, 244 stations. Singapore, about 200 kilometers, 119 stations. This statistics could be little old, maybe 2-3 years old. And then we come to Mumbai. The Mumbai latest master plan is actually for 337 kilometers, 14 lines to be completed by 2026 with an investment of 1,40,840 crore. That's the government statistics. And we are at number 3 of these 33.5 kilometer fully underground line. And you can see that red line going north to south. The southwest most point, that red line is some facts about Mumbai. It's 6th largest city in the world. It's financial capital of India. It contributes substantial share in India's GDP. It collects 1/3 of the India's tax revenue. The ports handle 1/3 of the country's foreign trade. Handles 38% of the international and 28% of domestic air traffic. But that's the condition of city in Mumbai as far as public transport is concerned. Overcrowded, but after that I came home. Traffic increase by 2.3%. Number of
गुप्ता साहब आपकी आवाज नहीं आ रही, आप अनम्यूट हो कर लीजिए। ये इस पे दिखाई दे रहा है कि आप म्यूट हो गए।
तो साहब आप अपने एंड से म्यूट मत करिएगा, मेरी 2 डिवाइस हैं।
अच्छा ठीक।
हाँ, एक पे वीडियो ऑफ है, एक पे वीडियो ऑन है।
अब आपकी आवाज आ रही बहुत अच्छी।
हाँ, एक्चुअली आपके एंड पे प्रेजेंटेशन क्या दिख रहा है,
नहीं,
इसको इसके लिए मैंने दूसरी डिवाइस चला रखी है.
it's okay, sir. It's
Because
okay.
maybe-
It's okay, sir.
So these type of statistics I was saying are not limited to Mumbai. All cities have a heavy vehicle count, vehicle growth, public transport buses going slow, rise in pollution level, health and safety issues. These are not Mumbai specific issues. These are everywhere. Similarly, the cabs are increasing, Ola, Uber are gaining popularity, but finally they are adding to the traffic on the road. In Mumbai, the traffic speed has come down drastically, 8.1 as compared to other cities. And you can see what is the congestion level, what is the average cities, average speed. That's Mumbai's suburban infrastructure. In Mumbai, huge traffic is actually carried by railway, which is now being supplemented by creating this metro network. Our project, which is 33.5 kilometer fully underground, it has got 27 stations. It cost 23,000 odd crore at the sanction level. The project cost has increased, and revised costs are under approvals. Two figures you can see: economic internal rate of return 17.93 and the financial internal rate of return 2.71. These figures show that the economic benefit of this project or any public transport project is huge to this society. 17-18% return on investment to public is a huge return to public. And the financial internal rate of return shows that the project can itself pay for the loan that it takes. The project is funded by JICA to the extent of 57.2%. Some statistics as to which area we are connecting. We are connecting business district. We are connecting public transport hubs. We are connecting both the airport terminal, connecting origination, destination, educational institute, hospitals, religious places. 30 lakh people in Mumbai are in the influence zone of this project. The trains would have 8-car capacity and will cater to 72,000 PHPDT. On rolling stock, fully air-conditioned stations, platform screen door, CBTC, MON station. So any MON network in India or abroad, we are matching with that. Now, Mumbai was 7 islands, and these 7 islands, over the period of time, was joined by reclamation. So the blue part that you see is reclaimed part, and that's how our line is set up in the topography of Mumbai. Somewhere very close to sea, somewhere in the reclaimed area, somewhere crossing a water body. There are challenges. The corridor passes through densely populated and congested areas. It's practically impossible not to have tunnel passing directly underneath or in close proximity of existing buildings and existing infrastructure. So we are in close proximity of heritage building, high-rise building, dilapidated buildings, congested areas with narrow roads, flyover, metro viaduct, railway line. So all this. What is important that each of these challenges are analyzed and designed through modeling and calculation to see that these challenges are technically dealt with. This is most important. It is where the professionals in the field of design, they come in picture to model that situation, analyze the situation, give data, limits, which the site engineers would take into account while executing the work. Now, some typical examples are if you see the cross section of Hutatma Chowk station, we have one platform to be created by mining by Netum. One platform is in a cut and cover box. There are buildings above, and these are heritage buildings. These are the type of buildings within which this project is situated. Another station, Vedant Bhavan station. So the high-rise buildings are very close by. We have old area, Kalva Devi. Let me fix some technical issues if it is from my end. Hello, am I audible? Hello.
Yes, yes, you are audible, sir. You are audible. You are audible, and that disturbance is very little, minor. You can continue, sir.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Okay.
It
Okay. Thank
subsides.
you.
It subsides on its own. You can continue, sir.
So this is Kalva Devi station, which is, if you see the Google image, there are a lot of old buildings you can see, and the white lines are the station, how it is seated within in the midst of old dilapidated buildings. If you see these buildings, which are on both sides of a narrow road, 10-meter wide road, and we are creating a station there. And we have already done the tunneling beneath these buildings. Another station which is next to that Kalva Devi station is Girgaon. Both the platforms are below the buildings and being created by Netum technology. These are the buildings in that area. Another station of that type where two platforms are being created by Netum technology. In all, 7 stations are done with the cut and cover and Netum technology. In Kalva Devi station, in fact, the central cavern is also a tunnel. Then we are below flyovers. So you can see the foundation of the flyover, and we are on either side of it. Below buildings, we are directly beneath foundations of high-rise buildings. This is Marol station, where the station is on either side of a metro viaduct. We are crossing railway line. So these are the uh, challenges that are faced by the project, which ultimately come to the designers. While field engineers deal with these challenges, but finally the designers have to model, designers have to design their structures. They have to give study solutions, study construction techniques. Use in this particular case, which is Santa Cruz station, it's hardly 1.5 meter away from the foundation of a very busy flyover, and the station is about 20 meter deep. Here below a water body and in a weak geology. Now, coming to the technology. Use that is being used in our project, I would say three. Tunnel boring machine. Here the tunnel boring machine does the tunneling.
Sir, your voice is missing. Your voice is missing for a while. Just for the half minute it is missing. From last half minute.
Is it okay now?
Yes, it is okay. It's okay, sir. It's okay.
Okay. So I was explaining principles of tunnel boring machine. It's one of the major component of the project, and in any urban tunneling, tunnel boring machines are playing a vital role. We are doing something like 55 kilometers of the tunnel by tunnel boring machines in Mumbai. Primarily, four bullet points. One is the design part, the survey part. Second is physical part of launching shaft. Third is the mechanical part, which is the tunnel boring machine itself. And the fourth is the segments and track that we segments primarily, segment that we erect to support, to create support system. This is a look of the tunnel boring machine. This is the front part, we call it shield. And you can see the cutter head of the tunnel boring machine. We have used 17 tunnel boring machine on this project. This is typically a tunnel boring machine, and I can show you a model of it actually. Can you see the model?
Yes, sir. Yes, we can see. Yes, we can see.
So a tunnel boring machine primarily has a cutter in the front. In a confined area, it goes a confined length of about 10-12 meters, within which all major operations take place. In this portion, the ground remains supported and the segments are erected within this area. And before the shield moves out, these are grouted. At the tail end of it, these segments are grouted. So the unsupported part of the ground is there for a very limited time. As I was asked, how do we deal with the basalt rock in the tunneling? Now, extensive geotech survey is done in the beginning. We have 7 contracts who are dealing with tunnel boring machine. Geology in all 7 all 7 contract packages, while being in basalt range, varies a bit here and there. There are weak pockets, there are very strong pockets. So we have different machines. They are all rock machines, but they are different machines, different cutter heads, different configuration in terms of how they would deal with the local geology. Finally, it is the machine that has to deal with the geology. So engineers take a very elaborate exercise at the stage of preparing this machine so that the machine serves the purpose. And we have seen in some of the project that if we encounter a different, totally different geology, and if the machine is not designed for that, it creates major problem. This is the second element of shaft. These are vertical cut from where the machine is lowered into the belly of the ground, and then it starts moving horizontal, or it starts moving on its alignment. So a segment, a shaft could be rectangular. If it is at the end of a station, it could be circular, or depending upon the topography of certain area. Machine is assembled in pieces because it's heavy. It's around 700 ton in total. Even the cutter head, the piece that is being lowered at this moment is about 90 to 100 ton. Machine in total, including all its attachment gantries, is about 100 odd meters long. There is a control room from where all horizontal, vertical, lateral movements are controlled. The machine is controlled from this control room. A typical metro network would have 2 tunnels running parallel and a station in between. To start with, when the machine is given a bulkhead or a stay from where it takes reaction. Once it is in ground, it takes reaction from the segments which are already erected. These are the segments. One ring comprises of 6 segments. This is a universal segment. We create all horizontal, vertical curves using these segments because these segments are trapezial. They are trapeziums. They are trapezoidal in shape, and with their placement of depending upon the orientation, we create horizontal curve or vertical curve or combination. That's how a finished tunnel looks like. What designer do in all this is they design the segment because it has to take huge amount of horizontal force. The machine takes reaction out of this force. That becomes the primary force to which a segment is designed. While holding ground is also a force, but the thrust force becomes the major force. And this segment is given all that reinforcement to bear with that force. That's the Mumbai project. We have done 90% of the tunneling, and all these red marks that you see are the portion that we have completed. Some small portions are pending, which are basically in this area. Let me show you. Some portion over here which is pending, some small portion here is pending, or some portion over here which is pending, some bits and pieces. Now another technology that we have used is cut and cover. Looks simple, but when you do that at a meter away from buildings, and that too old buildings, heritage building, becomes complicated. Most important is how to control settlement, how to control loss of ground, how to ensure that there is no movement in the ground and there is no movement in the building. Those buildings need to be analyzed and to see to what extent these buildings can be subjected to some movements, and then set up those monitoring systems, the control systems, the alarm system, so that we always remain safe. People are living in those buildings. On execution level, there would be a perimeter wall. We are doing segment, we are doing secant piles. In Delhi, they normally do diaphragm wall. There are utilities. So you can see utilities. We have to deal with utilities also. Then there could be a plunge column or intermediate support. We have to take care of traffic, so there could be a traffic deck. In most of the area, we had to bring the traffic back on the top. These are all steel structures, so partly the space is given to traffic, partly space is occupied for our own construction related activities. And then we keep moving down, excavating in soil or rock. The top part is soil, 4, 5, 6, 7 meters. Below is rock. And keep putting struts to ensure that there is very small movement in the ground outside. If this ground remains unaffected by excavation over here, these buildings are safe. So different stages of construction, we keep moving down, and somewhere we move into the rock area, then it becomes unsupported. Once we are in rock, we have to ensure integrity of the rock. Maybe we have to do a lot of rock anchoring, shortcreting. We have to, the ground loss, preventing ground loss is a very primary requirement. Controlling vibration also becomes important. In creating this space, rock excavation rock, if we are using blasting, that vibration can create problem for these buildings. So controlling that vibration during blasting to such extent that these buildings, which some of them are heritage, some of them are weak, remain safe. So we employ those experts, agencies who design blasting. And finally, we build the station. In fact, in underground construction, because of the uncertainties, it is the temporary works which I feel is the most critical and which warrants a very high level of professionalism from the designer. They have to anticipate so many situations in their understanding for which there is no direct data. A building per se, so this building per se that comes in the last, which can be constructed base slab first, then wall, then a slab over here, then wall, and then a slab here. This is a relatively simpler work. The most difficult work is the temporary works. To divert utility, to create space for yourself, to create space for traffic, create this peripheral confinement, and to hold this temporary works in such a way that buildings are not put to risk. And that's why the secant pile design philosophy becomes very important. I'm not a designer, but these are common sense points which I can flag. The detailed designing would be known to designer and professional designers. Secant piles are provided to hold excavated face. The stresses in secant piles are primarily determined by the bending moment. Axial forces are negligible. Bending moments are dependent on different stages of construction. And secant pile and support system like a strut, wheeler, anchors are designed for one adjoining member failure. So this is one important point. In our project, we are using British code, which makes it mandatory to account for one strut failure. So just in case, if we are lifting earth, we are lifting rock, and if that crane fails, if it damages one strut, then that failure of one strut should not affect the whole confinement, whole support system. So to design it for one strut failure. That's also important point for designers, that they built in a likely mistake that can happen during construction. And then ease of construction and a combination of struts and anchors. So ease of construction is also very important. That's why the contractor and the designer, they hold extensive talks what a contractor can do, what a contractor would like to do, what are the already available resources with him, to which resources he would like to deploy to minimize his cost. And on the other hand, the designer would say, okay, I will give you this design that will take care of your requirement. And finally, the project would have certain specification. These things are meeting those specifications. So a very close coordination between the contractor and the designer to meet these specification are important. These are some design figures, design configuration, type of loads, what type of load that come on this secant pile. These are the bending moment diagram. When the first strut is installed, then what type of forces come. When second level of strut is installed, what type of forces, and the designer takes care of all this while designing the structure. So somewhere the rock anchor would come in picture because he has to hold the toe of this, because we have margin, little margin over here. The toe should not be allowed to move. And all the faculty who is present here can visualize what important role they play into what we execute on ground. Now, I have some construction photographs. We have a Cuff Parade station, which is in the midst of the building. Vidhan Bhavan station. And all these stations are seated in something similar, some difficult topography. At Hutatma Chowk, you can see you can feel the building just next to the secant pile and the capping beam. You can feel this building. All these heritage stuff is coexistent. And these reddish stuff that you see over here are the support, or you see somewhere propping up the support that we have created for these buildings, so that just in case there is a small ground movement, these arches are well supported. That's also part of the design. These buildings, even though there is no formal design available for these buildings, we have to model these buildings. We have to analyze the building. We have to analyze these buildings for the construction effect that would come on these buildings. And then set parameters for their monitoring. Monitoring is our backbone. That's also another technical stuff that is done. And we monitor these buildings 24/7 online. That's from inside the Hutatma Chowk station. You can see a controlled blasting being prepared below those buildings. And we are limiting the vibration level to 2.54 dB. Another station, Kalba Devi, the Grant Road. You can always see the building just next. This is the 2-3 easy station that we have, Science Museum, where there is no building. We had to divert the whole traffic. We diverted the whole traffic sideways and created a space, a rare opportunity for us. That's from inside. Mumbai, we have a major issue related to dealing with utilities, and in any metro project, dealing with utilities is a big issue. We have deep utilities, and these utilities are also to be supported, and they have their own limitation of to what level of influence we can give to them. And you can see the type of a structure that is needed to hang them, and these are also to be designed.
Amen.
That's another station. That's Acharya Atre from beneath. Dadar, Siddhivinayak, BKC, Vidyanagari, and that's the drawing I was showing. So we have a flyover.
लेकिन उनका
Just next to
बायोडाटा भी मंगवाना पड़ेगा ना, इसके लिए बोल रहा हूँ.
just next to the foundation, and you can see the deep cut that we have done. So we had to analyze this face very extensively to see that there is no movement in the foundation. These are inter-terminal illustration. Now, another technique that we are using is new Austrian tunneling method. We are using this technique in stations, in stabling lines, reversal sidings, cross passages, and at such location. Why stabling line and reversal sidings we can't do with TBM is because we don't have the other end open. So a tunnel boring machine just can't. The tunnel boring machine has to be taken out. And at the end of the station, if I have to do a 200-meter long tunnel, it's done by mining method. And we can't use TBM. We can't take TBM back out of the same passes without, in some cases where it has been done, in rare cases, then the TBM has to be basically dismantled and cut into pieces and taken out. So, as the name suggests, NETM is a new Austrian tunneling method. It's a sequential excavation method. It was evolved in Austria, and it deals with these situations of most difficult form of tunnel construction. It can be very small pockets we create and support it. It's highly dependent on good design and good geotechnical investigation. It needs skilled foremen, skilled miners, skilled engineers for excavation and installation of tunnel support. Good geotechnical engineer, because it's like a design to go. So every time the geological conditions are studied, the support system is conditioned or customized for that purpose. And then quality control, survey, all these. So unlike tunnel boring machine, where tunnel support is universal along the tunnel length and designed for the worst case geological condition for the alignment, NETM utilizes a very support system which is wholly dependent on the rock condition at that particular point of excavation. And urban situation leaves a very small margin with engineers to afford an error. Unlike greenfield condition, brownfield conditions give us very little margin of settlement, very little margin of a failure. So unless correctly designed, excavated and supported in a controlled systematic manner, NETM is very prone to failure. So the need for good designer and good engineers. These are the stages in a NETM design and NETM construction. So one is the geotechnical investigation. Another one is the modeling, and there are computer models available for analyzing. Output of these models provide assessment of ground behavior. And this modeling is performed at various locations along the tunnel alignment, particularly at each change of geological profile. And accuracy of output is highly dependent upon the data obtained from geotechnical investigation. And for all designers, please, in all computer aided design, a garbage in leads to garbage out. And that's a risk that engineers these days have to be very mindful. Then the development of construction methods. So the contractor chooses a construction method, sequence of excavation, a structural support system, and the designer builds into these inputs while designing his system. So these are two complementing, supplementing analysis that goes on between the contractor and his designer. So it consists of, it's a cyclic process. Pre-support, particularly in poor rock condition, class 4, class 5, then excavation, then muck out, then geotechnical appraisal, confirmation of structural support type, shoring, sealing, installation of the structural support, and then repeat it. Go back to the pre-support, go back to the excavation, go back to the mucking, go back to the geological appraisal, geotechnical appraisal, install support, and go back, do the pre-support. Likewise, this cycle goes on and it's continuously being monitored through survey instruments. I would go through these stages in a pictorial form and the type of material that is used. I would not go into the design detail, but please, all these stages are backed up by a design. Design is very important. The designer gives us to what extent you can move in one stage. What are the limiting deformation that can happen? The designer would tell us this four-poling that you see over here, what diameter, what spacing, what length. This shortcut that you see, the designer would tell us what thickness. So all these construction activity that happen on ground are supported by a design. That design will also give the deformation levels, and that's how it's continuously ratified whether my design is meeting the ground condition or it needs modification. So the pre-support is like putting a fan-shaped structure on the roof, like this. If the ground is weak, this goes much beyond into the ground, creates an umbrella above, and then we safely excavate beneath. That's how the concept is. Then we do the excavation. The excavation could be by drill and blast. Excavation could be by a mechanical equipment like a road header or impact breaker. It could be hand excavation also if the rock condition or the soil conditions permit. Primarily dependent on the rock property or the soil property, the tunnel geometry, and also the availability of resources. Why availability of resources? Something that's possible in Mumbai may not be possible in Himalaya. Find somewhere in the deep. This one is like, you can see the pattern for a controlled blasting. And that's the excavation sequencing. It could be full face. So that's a full face excavation. So in stage 1, we excavate the heading. In second phase, we will excavate the benching, but full face excavation. Another one is stage excavation. This is stage excavation. So somewhere this one, somewhere this one, creating support, then moving downwards, leaving some portion, and so on and so forth. So designer would see the ground condition, will give a design, and the whole face would be excavated into multiple small fragments and continuously supported. That's a large undersea crossover cavern in Channel Tunnel. And I will show you some photographs. Something similar we are doing in Mumbai. We may not be below the sea, but something similar we are doing in Mumbai. I'll have those photographs coming a little later. Then the rock bolts. The rock bolt as a concept is like this. We have fragmented rock. These rock pieces are to be kept in position. So the rock bolts are drilled and tied into the ground. So it transfers the load from the unstable exterior to the confined and much stronger interior of the rock. It could be mechanical, it could be a grout. It is installed in a predefined pattern. At the same time, the engineer on ground would also take his call and will provide extra rock bolts wherever he finds a weaker situation. So you can see how rock bolts are installed. There could be a mesh on the periphery and there would be a bolt. And sometimes this plate could also be on the outside of this mesh. Then the tunnel support could be of the type of structure the contractor has. Typically, it is these bars joined together to create lattice girders. If the deformations are likely to be very high, then we go for steel ribs. And these are installed before application of shotcrete. So it looks like this. All those budding designers, once they see how the structure finally looks like, I'm sure you will be able to envisage what type of forces are coming, what type of requirements are there from the designer for meeting these ground situations. So after the heading, we do the benching, that is inward construction, the bottom part, and then start building up the tunnel from the bottom. Whatever we were seeing was basically temporary works, at least in a metro construction. We always line our tunnels with a permanent lining. As regard to shotcrete, it could be, it's a basically spray applied concrete. So the concrete is applied on the face of the rock or on the face of the surface. It could be dry shotcrete, it could be wet shotcrete. It could be applied manually or by a robotic arm. It may have fiber reinforcement. All these things are governed by the design and the likely deformations. These are the fibers. It could be steel fiber. This could be polypropylene fibers. So I will show you a few photographs from construction methodology of NATAM station. From a station which has both the components, cut and cover and NATAM. I'm showing you photographs from Shitla Devi station. And we had a situation of a ground loss. At this location, we had water gushing in from the secant pile from this face, and probably this building had some settlement, and we had to evacuate. So if failure in any of the ground situation in an underground work can lead to a large risk, we had the opportunity to evacuate them and to put them in hotels, and then we have restored back that building. So this is the typical cross section of this station, which has got a box where a lot of vertical movement would take place, and a portion which is a widened tunnel. This tunnel was done by the TBM and being widened by NATAM to create a platform. This portion is below buildings. That's why our first preference would be to provide a cut and cover structure to make a station if we have the opportunity. But the civil engineers may not choose their surroundings, they are not in a position to choose the geology. They have to customize their solution for the ground situation that they have to provide a solution in. So we have buildings, we have a road, we did secant pile, same as in the other case. A plunge column that will take care of the traffic requirements, traffic deck. Here, this part is done in a RCC. So we have a RCC deck. We chose RCC deck to ensure that These ground conditions which are weak, which are sandy, are the steel could probably still be flexible. So we provided a concrete deck, a thick concrete deck, which will be dismantled on a later date, and then lowering down and providing support system, a steel support system, excavating further, and then have two tunnels passing through over here and over here, and then excavating through these positions like we showed earlier. So this tunnel is dismantled at this stage. And then that's how we assess this tunnel horizontally from the station face and start widening and then move longitudinally. And then built up the station. So that's the station. And that was the construction methodology in a sample. This is a crossover at one station, Sahar, which is one of the station in between two airport terminals. And you can see that the tunnel section is smaller when it is one tunnel as one track, and a crossover is a location where we move from one track to another track, and so we have a turnout and we have rails. We need wider sections, so the cross section keeps increasing. At this stage, the waterproofing is done. There is a waterproofing, and people are preparing for the invert. That's another image from the same crossover. The material that you see lying here is a protective layer that we lay first, on which waterproofing comes, and this material has got small holes or small dimples which allow flow of water on the surface, so the water can easily flow along the surface through these dimples. That's a station widening going on. That is Santa Cruz. So we are widening the tunnel to create a platform. Hello. Am I audible?
You are audible, sir, very clearly. Things are going fine, very fine.
That's another station, Marwal station. We have, you can see the platform length, widened tunnel. The tunnel was done by tunnel boring machine. We can still see some members of the tunnel boring machine, and then widening. This is the formwork for lining. So thank you for your kind attention. Safe tunneling. So that is as regards to my presentation. Now we can take question answers, or we can have a discussion. Thank you very much.
Any,
So the presentation is over.
very good, sir. Thank you. Any question? I have asked participants to send me question on my WhatsApp group so that I can place those questions to Senior S.K. Gupta, sir. If anybody has any question, you can ask. I have a question, sir, if you can permit me.
Yes, yes, please. But one caveat. I'm not a designer.
No,
So
just sir,
I would have limited knowledge of design. I know basics because
yes,
I am a user.
yes, definitely. Just there was a question that what problem you have faced when you have gone through the reclaimed land? Reclaimed land.
Okay. So we have the situation of reclamation which vary from 3-4 meter to 9 meter. And in such situation, the top part creates problem. This reclamation is quite old, so that is one relief that we have. But the soil conditions are really inferior in the reclamation part, and the secant pile in that area and the level of support system was much more heavier. So we had multi-level of support, horizontal support system to ensure that the ground confinement are taken care of. Luckily, the tunnel in the entire reach is in the parent ground. So that's in rocky condition, whether they are fractured rock or homogeneous rock, but it's primarily in the parent ground condition. We have high ingress of water at many locations. Even in tunneling, we had high ingress of water.
Yes, sir. You can, sir. Somebody
Yeah.
is talking. Please mute yourself. Yes, sir. Uh, Continuing with that, was tunnel boring machine was efficient enough to drill through the reclaimed land?
Our tunneling was end-to-end in parent ground. We had to face some weak geology in certain area. We had problem of the cutters choking and requiring frequent cleaning. We had ingress of water in areas like Kalwa Devi Girgaon, and we had to work in closed mode of tunneling. So the machines, and that was one of the requirement in the contract that all the tunnel boring machine, even though they are being used in rocky condition, they must be capable of working in a closed mode working. And a closed mode working, what is possible is we can create a positive force on the face of the earth by working tunnel boring machine in a closed mode.
Okay.
So the machines are designed to the choice of machine. When the choice is being done, the choice of machine, the type of cutters that would be provided on the face, the pockets that would be provided in the cutter head, all these are governed by the type of geology that we may be facing. So in package 1, where some portion of the weak strata was to be encountered, we knew it. Across crossover tunnel, they use this word, was used. So this cutter face has got pockets which are normally kept closed, but when you have lot of fine material, you open them and take the fine material easily in. So in one package we are using rock machine but EPB machine,
Okay.
because we got to face some mixed ground condition. So it is at the stage of choosing the tunnel boring machine that we discount for the geological conditions that that particular machine is to negotiate through.
Okay, sir. If our chair, uh, 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 Professor Abdul Baqi Sahab, allow me to ask a question from his side. We were discussing that what we are doing with the muck. We are creating lot of muck. What we are doing with that muck?
Hello.
Yes. I have asked question on behalf of the session chair, Professor Abdul Baqi Saab, we were discussing that what is being done with the muck.
I could not get you. Hello.
What are you able to hear me?
Hello.
Are you able to hear me, sir?
Hello.
Are you able to hear me, sir? I am asking on behalf of our वॉल्यूम नहीं आ रहा है सर आप बोलिए सर आप
I'm not getting you. Hello.
Gupta sahab, are you able to listen me?
अब देखिए आप
यस
हेलो.
Yes. Yes, audible.
या
आप
आप ही पूछिए. ये Professor, please do ask.
आई वाज आस्किंग
मैंने सुना नहीं एक्चुअली क्या डिस्कशन हुआ अभी.
we were discussing that what we are doing with the muck which we are creating in a huge amount. What we are doing with the muck which are being created in huge amount.
To dispose of the material which we have to dispose of, what do we do with that?
Okay. So we have given contractors space some 50 kilometer away from the Mumbai. These are abundant quarries, and the contractors are transporting material there. Some of the material which is rock and which comes out of station construction is also used recycled and used at in other construction for different purposes like road paving or some other works. But we have about 100 million quantity, 100 lakh, 10 million. So 10 million excavated quantity which have to be disposed of.
A lot of material, maybe more than 80% must be disposed of, and only 20% can be used for repairing, etc., or for tunnel inside,
Concreting.
Most of the
etc.
rock will be used.
And also, you may require huge land to dispose of.
So we use the government gave us abundant quarries
Okay, so
outside Mumbai city.
maybe we are reclaiming more land using this muck.
And
We may reclaim land from the sea using this muck.
but reclamation is banned,
Okay. Reclamation is done.
legally banned.
Okay.
Some countries have done that, and that could have been a smart way of doing it.
Yes.
This material cannot be used for reclamation per se without processing.
Okay.
So it has to be given but certain profile, certain
Sizing.
fineness, combination of fine, coarse, and all.
Yes.
It cannot be used as such.
Okay.
Even another coastal road project that is going on, they are unable to use this material
Okay.
as such.
Okay. So now I will ask Professor Abdul Baqi Sahab to say a few words and close the session. From my side, I am very thankful to Professor Gupta Sahab, Dr. Gupta Sahab, for nice presentation.
Okay, thank you, Masroor Sahab, and also Engineer S.K. Gupta Sahab for very, very informative lectures. In fact, I got interest. I would have done my MTech in geotechnical engineering rather than in structural engineering. And I hope that I will have to ask Engineer S.K. Gupta to contact our students to give more informative lectures like this. I also thank all the participants for patient listening throughout this session, and hopefully we must have learned a lot as I have. Thank you very much all. Thank you very much again, and we will meet again in the afternoon session. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir, for taking your very
Thank you.
precious
Namaskar. Bye bye.
we have learned a lot, sir. We have learned a lot, and we have will revisit the things again with the knowledge which we have got from you.
Again? I could not get you.
We will revisit our lecture notes after getting a lot of information from your side. we will revisit our lecture notes.
Hello.
We will revisit our lecture notes. तो वहीं से problem.
I think there is some problem.
Okay, sir.
I'm not getting.
Thank you, sir. I will. Okay, sir. I will contact you through WhatsApp. I will contact you through WhatsApp.
साथ में उनके चले जाइएगा 10 मिनट अब रख लीजिए उसका जरूरत नहीं
Masood, I think most of them have left and
Thank
अब ओरिजिन मिल गया है ना
some problem in voice. Thank you. Up this session.
नीचे में सेंड कर दीजिए
Cross.
चले जाइए साथ में चले जाइए